Trump raised US 7.1 million since he was booked Thursday at Atlanta jail. Former President Donald Trump has amassed almost 20 million in donations over the past 3 weeks, a period coinciding with his indictment in federal and state cases linked to his unfounded allegations of election fraud in the 2020 election. After his recent appearance for a mugshot in the Atlanta racketeering and fraud case, he collected 7.1 million with a record-breaking 4.18 million gained on Friday alone. Trump, aiming for the Republican Party's presidential nomination again, faces 4 indictments connected to his election falsehoods and the January 6, 2021 attack on the US Capitol by his supporters. He has pleaded not guilty to all charges, including conspiring to obstruct the certification of Biden's election victory, retaining classified documents, and falsifying business records tied to hush money payments. No matter how you want to look at this, it's clearly an attack on democracy and an attack on Trump, simply because they just can't stand someone who is fighting for the people to be in the White House. And we'll just have to wait and see how corrupt or not corrupt the US justice system is. Only time will tell. Hundreds flee floods as Super Typhoon brushes past Philippines. Super Typhoon Saola caused flooding in rural villages in northern Philippines, leading to the evacuation of over 1,000 people from vulnerable coastal areas. The typhoon brushed past the main island of Luzon, bringing strong winds and heavy rains, with speeds reaching 185 km per hour. Fortunately, there have been no reported casualties or significant damage so far. Coastal communities in Isabela, Cagayan, and Ilocos Sur provinces were moved to higher ground due to the risk of high winds and waves. Power outages affected Cagayan province, impacting around 1.2 million residents. The storm's eye was close to the town of Casiguran, with predictions that it would remain over water before heading east and then northwest towards Taiwan. The primary concern remains heavy rainfalls, potentially causing floods and landslides in the affected area. Another typhoon, another day. Let's hope these people can get to safety faster this time. From the Philippines all the way to Florida, Tropical Storm Idalia heading towards Florida. Tropical Storm Idalia has formed near the Yucatan Channel about 130 kilometers east-northeast of Cozumel in Mexico and is heading towards Florida, the US National Hurricane Center said on Sunday. The storm, which strengthened from a tropical depression, has sustained winds of 65 km per hour and could become a hurricane over the eastern Gulf of Mexico by Tuesday, NHC said. Observations from the NOAA Hurricane Hunter aircraft indicated that Tropical Depression 10 has strengthened into Tropical Storm Idalia. From one end of the world to the other end of the world, there doesn't seem to be an end to these typhoons and tropical storms. It's such an unfortunate circumstance, but let's hope more people will have a heads up on what's going on and be able to get out of harm's way. 9 dead after fire in stationary train carriage in southern India. A fatal fire erupted in a stationary train carriage in Madurai, a city in southern India's Tamil Nadu state, resulting in 9 deaths and injuries to 20 individuals on August 26. The blaze was triggered by an explosion of a gas cylinder used by passengers for making tea on a stove. Hey-yo. Reports suggest that the passengers had illegally brought the cylinder on board. The incident occurred within a single coach operated by a private tourist company and is not part of a moving train. Among deceased were 3 women, and the injured suffered non-life-threatening injuries. The fire raged for a few hours before being extinguished by firefighters. This event follows a severe train collision in June that claimed over 250 lives, marking one of India's deadliest rail accidents in decades. And there was another accident just a few weeks ago. India really needs to get its local on-the-ground technology up to mark. It just launched a probe to the moon and it successfully landed on the moon, so it definitely has the technology. Now it just needs the willpower to bring this technology to its local communities and upgrade its infrastructure. Let's hope that gets done soon. Olympic figure skater Alexandra Paul dies in car crash. A former Olympic figure skater, Alexandra Paul, has died at the age of 31, Skate Canada said in a statement. Paul, who represented Canada at the Sochi 2014 Games and finished 18th in the ice dance competition, died in a car crash on Tuesday. It is with a heavy heart that Skate Canada announces the sudden passing of a cherished member of our skating community, Alexandra Paul, Skate Canada said in a statement earlier this week. A shining star on and off the ice, Alexandra's dedication, passion, and remarkable talents have left an indelible mark on the world of figure skating. Paul won a silver medal at the World Junior Figure Skating Championships in 2010 and retired from competitive skating in 2016. It's an unfortunate event. May she rest in peace. Condolences to her family. Japan says seawater radioactivity below limits near Fukushima. Seawater tests around Japan's Fukushima nuclear plant have found no traces of radioactivity, according to Environment Ministry. This follows the recent release of treated water used to cool damaged reactors in the Pacific Ocean. The decision sparked protests in Japan and neighboring countries, notably China, which imposed a ban on aquatic imports from Japan. Japan and scientific groups assert the water is safe after thorough filtration that eliminates most radioactive elements except tritium, a radioactive form of hydrogen. The ministry tests at 11 locations near the plant revealed tritium concentrations below detectable limits, assuring no adverse effects on human health or the environment. Regular, transparent monitoring will continue to maintain Japan's reputation, the Environment Ministry stated. Test outcomes will be published weekly for at least the next 3 months. Let's just hope that there is no tempering and doctoring of these results, and let's hope they are honest about it. Well, Japan has a good reputation for honesty, so let's just hope that they'll be honest with this one as well. Malaysia could feel pinch of India's rice ban within weeks. Malaysia is facing a potential repercussion from India's ban on non-basmati rice exports. As a major rice importer, Malaysia could experience market disturbance within weeks. While economist Noor Amira believes Malaysia's current rice stockpiles could provide a buffer for a couple of months, price increases are expected. India's ban on non-basmati rice aims to stabilize its domestic availability and prices, impacting its role as the world's largest rice exporter. The ban affects major importers like Philippines, Malaysia, and Vietnam. Malaysia's diversified rice sources, including Thailand's temporary supply offer, could mitigate some impact. Bernas is Malaysia's main importer of rice to Malaysia. On its website, it stated that Malaysia's domestic paddy production could reach up to 70% self-sufficiency, with average Malaysians adult consuming around 80 kilograms of rice per year. The average imported supply of rice is approximately 750,000 metric tons. Hence, a price increase could be exponential if we do not have sufficient supply. Perhaps in the short term, we'll see some shortages. Maybe suppliers won't be able to meet the demand, but in the end, food prices are still going to increase regardless. And this is an unfortunate fact that not many people are preparing for, but food inflation is going to go through the roof. Let's hope people will just prepare in advance for this circumstance. And let's just hope for the best, but we should prepare for the worst. US Treasury Department proposes new reporting requirements for digital asset brokers. The US Treasury Department and the IRS have introduced new proposed regulations aiming to enhance tax reporting and curb tax evasion in the digital asset space. The regulations mandate digital asset brokers to report specific sales and exchanges, aligning them with the reporting rules for securities and other financial instruments. This move seeks to simplify tax calculations for individuals, as digital asset tax calculations are currently deemed complex and expensive. The regulations introduce a new Form 1099-DA to assist taxpayers in determining their owed taxes without relying on intricate calculations on third-party services. Cryptocurrency exchanges, including decentralized ones like Uniswap, would be required to share customer information with the IRS under these rules. Public comments and feedback are being accepted until October 30th, followed by public hearing. Critics argue that these regulations could hinder decentralization and crypto adoption, potentially leading to restricted use of decentralized exchanges in the US. Well, again, regulators have no clue how cryptocurrency and decentralization works, therefore, they're just going to lose in the long run. If they were to be more friendly, maybe they might get away with it, but unfortunately, they decided to be hostile with the cryptocurrency space, and by being hostile to a space that is decentralized, all you're doing is shooting yourself in the foot, because now more people are just going to purposely not report their taxes. You should pay your taxes as a responsible citizen of your country, but at the same time, there should be limits to how much you're being taxed. And if taxes are starting to impede on people's ability to survive, then I think it's unfortunate, because people are going to do what's in their best interest and not in what's in their country's or government's best interest, and this is an unfortunate circumstance. Therefore, working with the community and working with these exchanges would be a better option as opposed to just outright regulating them. Let's see how the public comments and feedback work out, but I really don't think there's going to be anything that's going to come out of it, because usually these alphabet agencies, once they made up their mind, they're just doing this for show and they're just going to implement their rules anyway. Thank you for staying to the end of the video. Please like, share and subscribe, really helps the channel out. I'll see you again tomorrow.